So it's kind of late in the day to be starting a video. It's like 6:30 right now. But the sound in the engine bay, that rattling sound, is getting worse. And I don't know if you can see or not, but the water pump pulley is kind of doing this a little bit. It's hard to tell. Hard to see exactly what's going on. That's the only one that I see that's kind of wiggling, but the sound sounds like it's coming from like higher up, which is why I swapped out the tensioner pulley. But obviously the sound didn't go away, but it's getting louder now. So I'm gonna try and go through and just process of elimination, make sure everything's tight. Like I said, that water pump pulley has a little bit of a wiggle to it. So maybe it's just getting loose and I can tighten it back down. I tried last time, all the bolts seemed very, very tight, but we'll see. Worst comes to worst, I do have a spare 12 valve AFP in the garage that has an alternator. I can have that pulley. I have another water pump for that pulley. So I'm gonna try and go through and just see if I can't figure out which one it is. I don't know if I'll do it all today. It says like 6:30 now on a Friday. So I just heard it earlier and the sound started to drive me insane. I would love for it to go away. So we're gonna do some inspecting and see if I can't figure out what we got going on, because the sound's super annoying. It's getting louder and something over here has got a rattle or bad bearing or something, but it's driving me insane. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see on camera, but if you look right here on the engine mount, all this black residue that's right there, that's actually rubber, which seems to be, as that water pump pulley is slightly doing this back and forth, on the tensioner here on this pulley, it's kind of rubbing on the outside just a little bit every time it like goes back and forth, and that's just rubber residue that's coming off of there. So I think the water pump pulley is our culprit. There's not a lot of room down there, but I'm going to try and get the Allen key and just make sure it's all the way tight. I may go ahead and pull this back off, pull the bolt off, all the tensions out of it, and then try and snug it back up. It might be a very easy fix, or it might, I mean, it's not leaking for the water pump, the car's not overheating, and that's a new water pump. It's the old pulley, but the water pump itself got replaced when the change got replaced, so there's not that many miles on it for it to actually be bad. But I might pull this off, pull the belt off, and then see if I can get it tightened up a little bit, and then see if our noise continues. And if it does, then maybe it's the alternator pulley or AC, but I don't think it's either one of the, I don't think it's AC at least, because when the AC is off or on, the sound's still there, and I don't think it's the AC clutch. It might be the alternator pulley, which I have another one, or it's gonna be the water pump pulley, but we will see here in a little bit. Okay, so I just pulled the belt here off. I did the tensioner on this car, it wasn't, what, a couple weeks ago I did the tensioner on this car, and I checked the bolts on the water pump. And when I tell you now, when I pulled the belt off, I watched the water pump pulley like do this. I knew it was a little bit loose, but like this thing is like, let's see, oh, you can hear it. That's me shaking. You can see down there, right by my finger. That's the whole entire pulley shaking. I swear to you, I had an Allen key on each of the 3 bolts, and I was pressing down on it, and they were nice and tight. I couldn't get them to budge. So I don't know if the water pump itself is shot, because again, it's not leaking and the car's not overheating. There's no coolant under the car. But yeah, that pulley's definitely, like, it's loose. Like, that's crazy. So I'm gonna try and get in there again with the Allen key, get it tightened up. Hopefully, if I can't get enough access with how this is, I think the easiest route would be to undo this mount over here, air up the car, put a jack underneath, lift the engine up, give me some more access on this side, and then hit the bolts again. But I'm gonna pull this out first, and then we'll see. That's crazy. Like, this whole thing is just like, it's just loose and it's shaking. So hopefully it's just loose, because again, the water pump is working, it's not leaking. It's not, I wouldn't say it's apart from the water pump to the block. It's definitely the bolts holding it to the water pump itself. But yeah, she's a little loose, I'd say. All right, last bolt. tensioner coming out. There is that. You can see, oh yeah, the built up rubber on the side there. It was weird because after I put the new tensioner in, the sound got quieter. So maybe the old tensioner was part of the problem. But now, Mr. Water Pump here just doing the thing. So I can see the water pump housing that's bolted to the block down here. That's not moving at all. So it's 100% just the pulley section. So I'm hoping I can get these 3 bolts here actually snug down. And hopefully it's not, you know, actually though, if these are tight, it could be, I guess like the center shaft that's part of the water pump that the pulley bolts to. It might actually be that. Like the water pump is still bolted to the block, no problem. But there's that center section where this bolts up and rotates. And I think maybe that entire thing might be shot. Don't love that. Because when I checked the bolts, they were tight, like really tight. So it doesn't seem like any of them are loose, like just by off looking at it. No, it might be the center section, which is annoying. Not the end of the world to do a water pump on one of these cars, but I think, but it is annoying because that is a new water pump. Like I said, it's got maybe 10,000 miles. When I bought the car, we brought it home, did all the servicing on it, swapped the water pump at that time. It's got 10,000 miles on it, and that's really, really low for a water pump to actually, like, you know, do this nonsense. So I'll see if I can tighten up the bolts, fingers crossed. If not, we don't need a water pump. Oh, good Lord. Got it. Give me the Allen key, thank you. Whew. Oh, that sucks. All right, well, as you can see, it's dark outside, but we are still out here. I have the last bolt to pull out of the water pump pulley. I did go through and test them all, and they were all super, super tight. It looks like whatever the center, the piece where the water pump pulley bolts to, that whole entire thing is loose, and it looked like there's a center bolt, but it's actually not. It's more like a stud, and whatever center bearing or however the thing rotates, that seems to be shot, which sucks because it's been, I said, this water pump's only been on here for like 10,000 miles, and it's donezo, which sucks, or I assume it's done. We'll see here in a second. Yeah, kind of annoying, but I'd rather it happen here while the car is home. I have my tools, I can replace it, not a big deal, versus being on the road and the whole entire pulley flies off and we destroy some things. So as soon as I get in here and get the last bolt out, I actually went through and I had to tape a 6mm Allen to this tiny wrench because this one is too big and it starts hitting the firewall, or not the firewall, the frame on this side, because Mark IVs don't got a lot of room on this side with a VR, but we're getting there. One little half turn at a time, and then we'll be able to pull the pulley off, and then I'll be able to make sure and just verify that center piece that it bolts to, and we'll go from there. So all the bolts are out, which means this. So there is our water pump pulley. It's just a metal pulley, nothing really to it. And if my suspicion is correct, this piece here, yeah, you can see, hopefully you can see, that entire thing is loose like crazy. It still spins freely, but whatever bearings inside of here is toast. And I thought maybe on the end over here, like on this side right there, was an actual bolt, but it's just a round like stud. I don't think there's a way to actually tighten this back up. I'm gonna double check and see, but I don't think so. It's just a stud right here. So whatever's inside of this section here, whatever the bearing is, it's no more. So we're gonna need a new water pump, which isn't the end of the world. I actually might, I don't think there's enough room to get it out right here. I probably have to go with the engine, but there's a bolt here, there's a bolt there, and one on the bottom, and the whole thing comes out. New one goes back in, new gasket, and then bolt all back together. But the issue is, it is currently Friday. What's up, dude? Let me help you out. Let me help you out. There you are, little homie. Anyways, it's currently Friday evening. I don't know if anyone local will have a water pump for VR6 like this soon. I do have one on my spare engine, but it's a used one, and if I'm going to pull this apart, I'm going to put a new one in there, so that's not an option. I'll go online tonight and see if maybe I get lucky and like an AutoZone or like an O'Reilly's just happens to have a 12-volt VR6 water pump, which would be cool. We'll see. And then get it swapped out, but for now, she done so. Unless there's a way to tighten it from the outside, which I don't think there is. Yeah, again, sucks because I said it's only 10,000 miles on that water pump, which is brand new basically, which is super annoying. But again, I'd rather it happen here at home versus being on the road somewhere. The whole pulley flies off, everything shreds, and big old problem. So it is what it is. Car's still in good shape, engine still works fine. Even though the water pump was still working fine, it just had that super annoying noise, and the way that it is now, it only had a matter of time before the whole thing just snapped off. So I guess it is what it is for right now. All right, well, it's currently Saturday, and unfortunately, I could not get a water pump today. Actually, I could have got a water pump, but Volkswagen wanted like $110 for one, and it's just not that serious. So I'm gonna order one from Eurotuning on Monday. I kind of thought about trying to go there today, but it's kind of a far drive, but just to see the friends over there, but they're closed on the weekend, so couldn't do that. But to order one from Eurotuning, it's like 36 or 37 bucks, much cheaper. I don't need it that bad. The car is home and it's chilling. Like I said, I do have a spare engine over there that has a water pump, but I'm not gonna put a used one on just to do it. So I'll order one Monday morning. It might be here like Monday afternoon, but more than likely it'll be here Tuesday, and then swap it in and should be good to go. Like I said, it's unfortunate that it happened because that's such a new water pump just to have the internal bearing kind of go out, which sucks, but it is what it is. Again, the car is home. It could happen on the road. That pulley could have flown off and caused a bunch of damage, but thankfully it did not. On the bright side though, I got this side of the car sitting even lower. Look at that. Spicy. So now the back's almost all the way down. Look how close this is. Woo! Spicy fitment on the wagon. So she's looking good. I found I have new front hubs, new front wheel bearings, the hardware kit, a whole bunch of stuff that I ordered a while back. We did a lot of maintenance on this car that I totally forgot to actually go through and install. So before we take the car up to Chattanooga for Riverside, I'm gonna have the new water pump put on, new hubs, new front wheel bearings, and just more maintenance stuff, making sure the car is good to go for the long drive and we have no issues. But aside from those few things, the car's super solid. Even now, the front wheel bearings aren't making a noise, but I have the parts and they're $3.99, so might as well go through, swap them out, make sure the car is up to date and ready for the cruise up there. I think from here it's like, I want to say there's 7.5 or 9.5 hours. I mean, it's a 2-hour difference, but it's one of those two. It's not too far. The wagon can handle it. So I'm definitely excited to head up there and see a new show I've never been to, hang out with the homie John, and a bunch of people are going. Paul's going, Tony's going, Larry's gonna come. I think Jerome's going as well. Just a whole bunch of people are going up there for a new show that I haven't been to. The venue looks super sick and it should be a good time. So yeah, those are our current updates. The wagon will be here until we get a new water pump. Today's also April 1st, so haha, water pump. Great joke. Love this. Also, another funny thing, I completely forgot. Look how dusty it is. I completely forgot I had this painted for the wagon, and then I never put it on for Euro Tripper, and then it's been sitting in the back of the Mark II, and I just forgot I even had it. So that's gonna go on. It's been, look at this dust on this thing. It's been sitting for months now. I totally forgot I even had this. So yeah, there's that. Here you can see all of the new parts. So nice fancy new hubs. This is the hardware kit. These are the wheel bearings. So all the goodies. So that'll get done along with the spoiler going on, along with the water pump, and she will be ready for Riverside. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. The next time or the next video you guys see, the wagon should be up and running and fully functional. Fingers crossed nothing else random wants to just stop working, but you never know. I've had plenty of brand new parts that just say I'm done, and it happens. It's just part of cars, unfortunately. But again, easy fix. We'll get it knocked out, be back on the road, and shouldn't be a big deal. But again, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.